You want to record a podcast that you'd want to listen to. So focus on the topics and the stories that you're really passionate about and that get you really excited because that's going to make it really fun for you. You're going to enjoy it, and that's going to translate to the people who listen.
Do you find that people have an expectation of how quick this is going to take for them?
Yeah, I've had a couple people that expected to kind of be like a overnight success or like get rich quick plan because they see some of those really big podcasters and expect to kind of mimic that, but that's not really how it works. It's really a long game. It's something that takes a lot of time to build your audience and build the show, but it can be a really, really great investment if you put the time into it and really cultivate that audience and build those relationships, and then also use it as a tool to get you on stages and get you partnerships and connect with other podcasters, other people in your industry, the people you bring on as guests. So there's so many ways that you can use it. And lead generation, you have my free ebook on the screen, and it's all about ways you can use a podcast or other types of media to generate leads. And that's a really fantastic way that you can use it to build that business.
Awesome. And if we could get three key takeaways of what you have seen makes a successful podcast.
Lead with value and stories. Have it be about what the listener can do versus what you can do for them so that it's very actionable and they can really walk away with something that they can put into action, and have fun with it. If you find that it's not something you're enjoying, find something else. You don't Nobody needs to have a podcast, but it can be a really fun way to reach your listeners.
Yeah, I think that's one of the keys because it's one of those things where, like you say, it takes a long time, and if you're not having fun with it, immediately it's going to become the biggest chore in the world. And I don't know what the percentage is of people that quit podcasts, but it's got to be something like 97%.
It's very high.
Yeah, and if it's not fun, you're just not going to stick it out. So I agree very much with that. And what if somebody say they are? Who do you work with mostly, Sarah?
I work with a lot of entrepreneurs and small businesses, and I'm also starting with internal podcasts for bigger corporations to help them really create a great company culture and connect with their employees, no matter how far away all their offices are.
That's very interesting, Sarah. Is that something new? I've never heard of that before.
It's not new, but it's not all that mainstream, I would say. But it's just a really great way to improve that corporate communication. There's so much that when you join a company, you get handed on paper that you're never going to read. If you swap that out for something that's engaging, something that helps you really get to know the leaders in the company, use a internal podcast to celebrate wins, introduce different key employees. There's just so many ways that you can make it more personal, make it better to connect, and really improve that culture from the inside.
That is a fantastic idea. And what size companies are doing this?
Um, so any size company can do it. In my opinion, it's a really great tool for companies that have offices spread out.
Yeah.
So it's a way that even if you're on the East Coast and you've got teams on the West Coast, you can still kind of have that unity. And then especially now with remote work, like how can you build a corporate culture when you're not actually in an office? It's a really great way that even if they're at home, they're still getting that piece of connection.
Yes, and I often I think in big companies when you're not even meeting or know even say the board of executives and stuff, if you don't even know who they are, that could be bad for culture. But if you're actually able to speak with them and hear what they're trying to do, that would be incredible. What I was going to ask you was in those types of internal corporate podcasts, do they make the workers listen to them or are they optional?
Um, you could do it either way. I would say mostly it should be optional, but there are ways that you can use it for onboarding, like having all of that paperwork at the beginning. Have that be a podcast instead. Have HR go through the benefits package so you actually